Yeah, so we already started talked about the whole idea, I think, of a tree cave, why it makes sense to replicate a tree cave, and this
Yeah.
is actually what Hype is doing, right?
Yeah, I don't know how much you got with the bad sound before. We basically, yeah, I just said like we took everything we integrated into Hive. We basically not just came up ourselves with it with the ideas. We just looked at it from a design perspective. We took all the knowledge from biologists who like defined the most natural habitat of bees and took their research from the research papers of these scientists. We just took the definitions of the what is a tree hollow or the most natural home of a honeybee, basically giving to the animal, and we just took these specs and integrated it into a product that we can then like mass produce. Um,
Yep.
so yeah, that's the way how we actually came to Hive. That we just took like this scientific approach on the scientific definition of home of the honeybee and tried to make it to a consumer good. That's how we got to Hive. It's maybe a little bit different way to get to this topic.
Yeah, then I mean, it took many years now. Basically, it's I don't know. It started over 10 years ago, I think. Then we met each other 5 years ago almost, and developed like a lot of versions, developed a lot of prototypes. It was a long way until we came here basically, and have this finished product. And I would say let's not waste more time and let's dive into Hive and
Yes.
let's see what this is about, how it works, how the build up looks like, and how does it look inside.
Yes, yes, yes. Is there, to start up, is there any like specific questions on how to handle Hive or how to do certain kind of steps? Please write it in the chat. Other from yeah,
Yeah,
the final best.
I will keep an eye on the chat and will give Philip some hints
Yeah,
if there
yeah.
are
And
some
I
special questions, and otherwise we just go through it. I would say
yeah.
and see how it goes.
We will just take apart the whole Hive of this one, and I will go through the like components, the materials, and all on the functions of it, and then we will build it back together while I talk about it. Let's start about with the cover here. We're pretty happy to uh, have a cooperation with the German outdoor and sports clothing producer. It's called VD. I don't know how big it is on the international market, but it's a pretty known German company. And they helped us to produce this cover that is UV resistant. It is also completely, how do you say that? There's no it's waterproof, and this all comes without PFAS. PFAS is a
What is membrane thing that is used in there?
yeah,
So it's like a chemical,
yeah, it's a chemical. It's
waterproof,
quite not
waterproof
healthy,
stuff.
and they helped us to make it come true without these chemicals. So we are pretty happy about it. And yeah, thank you for this. Um, First of all, this whole thing is actually mounted on a like 10 centimeters wood pole, basically banked in the ground. And so we are in the office right now. We can't like put it here in the office. It's just on a Christmas stand. So it is quite a little bit shaky. It's normally not that shaky, just to say it up front. Um, yeah, under the cover, we already come to the installation, and I will tell a little bit more about it. We can from here also easily already exit it and go to the honey room, but I will also show this a little bit later, and I would start with taking the whole hive from the stand. One second. So we have these three locks here. We just take them out, and from there we can take the whole thing on the ground. And yeah, I don't know how to see it from there. Maybe I put it on the put it on here. Okay, so there's actually these four clippers we can open. Um, and if we open them, it's a little bit shaky here on the.
Yeah, Philip, somebody's asking if it's heavy. Maybe you can show how light it is, basically. So
Yeah, that's a one good thing for we working. Yeah, the lightweight is something I would mention maybe a little bit later. But yeah, this insulation we use, the handle is pretty lightweight. We have also like these components that are holding all the structure together. It's pretty lightweight, so so it is pretty easy to lift, and that's one like big benefit for us if we work with these. We actually don't have to lift the 10 kilo of wood box as well to the weight of the beast. But I would say a little bit more about the weight later on. The installation is I go forward with the installation first and tell a little bit more about the weight as we come to the like, plastic components we use because I have to say a little bit about them as well. They just make it even possible we can make such light structure like this. But the hand tool, it's a really powerful material. It's coming like CO2 negative to us, so it is actually like holding CO2 and is CO2 negative, and it's a pretty strong insulator. And we are insulating here with 10 centimeters of hemp wool that are actually replicating like 50 centimeter of living arc tree, oak tree. It's 50 centimeter living oak tree we are replicating with 10 centimeter hemp wool. So it would be in real life a huge. I have to put it on the ground, otherwise it's like too shaky. Ja, das Holzring. Um, so it's a really big old tree we are replicating here, and it's with a pretty lightweight yeah, construction. Um, oh, yeah, if we open this is pretty nice. Pretty nice. It's pretty important to have like this the ceiling here because this whole room inside, as we are the insulation has to be watertight all around. I mean, we have a whole watertight construction, and that's pretty important. So we insulate in here. Okay, I'm a little bit off right now, but okay. Let's get to the honey room. I will tell you about the insulation later, and we go to the honey room. Probably most of the people have questions about the honey room, anyways. Okay, this we have here about like 7 liter of for a honey room or to harvest honey, and the bees can build the wild structure in here, and we can harvest it with a it's called a drone knife. I don't know, it's a traditional German tool, and we have one of these here. It's just a very long version right now. We have a shorter one, and with the shorter version, you can harvest the honey out of here pretty easily. To harvest the honey, we have these tools here which can be inserted. Normally, we have like the red one here first. To let's say in winter time. In winter time, we use this red piece here, the ceiling to block basically the entrance to the honey room because in winter, right now, all our beehives don't have the honey room on top. Um, we are basically like filling this room with additional insulation. Um, for the one who bought already a hive with us or from us, we couldn't insert this extra piece of insulation this year because it demands an extra tool to produce, and we couldn't afford this year. But as soon we can afford it, we will insert it as well. Um,
But yeah, you can use any insulation you have and fill it up. It doesn't matter. We also use some scrap pieces of insulation we have lying around, basically.
Yeah, you can also put in like all sweaters or whatever. I mean, it is sealed in here, so you can put it in here. But yeah, to say a little bit more about like these inserts. Um, let's say we would start with yeah with the season, and we want to put on the honey room.
The honey super, yeah.
Um, we put in the queen expector, and the queen expector is basically just blocking the entrance for um, the 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 walkthrough for the queen to the honey room, and so we have the whole honey room just filled up with honey and not um, with yeah additional with eggs or lava or yeah. So and let's say we have filled up the whole honey room. We can insert the queen the bee exit. So the bees can basically just exit the honey room but can't go back into it. And that's a pretty nice feature because let's say in the end of the season we want to harvest the honey, we can take it off without having like thousands of bees crawling around and make the whole honey room empty without going to the kitchen and harvest it out in all in peace and quiet without having like thousands of bees running around. And yeah, that's basically it about like how we harvest honey. From here, there is like the brood chamber, and the brood chamber we can completely like take off and or take it out of the insulation. And yes, and for let's say we have it's fall season, and you want to check in fall season the weight of your colony and to see does we have to feed the colony or um, yeah, do we have to feed the colony or is it strong enough themselves by the weight? You can actually, if you have a little bit of a feeling for it, you can just like lift it here with your fingers because this whole thing is actually pretty lightweight. This this piece is a pretty lightweight construction, and that's actually the living room for the honeybees or the brood chamber. We have here this little maybe it's just missing here, but normally we have like these little windows in here. So these little windows are made for not to basically check on the bees like we do
Magazine
in
house.
magazine hives. In magazine hives, you can like slice the bees apart and like look into every slice. Um, we don't really see the need to do this. I mean, the most important thing we check on for us, the most important thing to check is, do you still have a queen that's laying eggs and is a productive colony? And therefore we don't have to slice the colony into parts. We can actually just hear it. If you just put your ear on a colony and it's without a queen or a queen that's not laying eggs anymore, you will definitely notice. And if you don't hear it, you will feel it because bees are getting pretty aggressive if the queen is not productive anymore. So um, yes, we never saw the need to slice them apart to check for this. These little windows are more or less actually just to make I don't know how it calls in English, but um, it's
American Foulbrood.
American Foulbrood test. Yeah, I mean we have to in Germany the regulation we have to be able to take these tests to check for for American Foulbrood. And therefore we can perfectly access somewhere here the bees and take off honey from above the brood chamber of the brood, and therefore we made these windows. It's not to have a nice look through, or maybe some people think it's a little bit difficult to get there. we actually just insert them to check for this.
And then the probe is going to be checked in the lab, and then you can see if you have foul boots way before you can actually see something or smell something. Because yeah, the fungus is already there. It can be tested in the lab way before. It's much better than just doing like a visual check of American foul boots.
I mean, if you can see it, you already also see it, yeah, smell it. So if you have foul boots in a state where you can smell it or see it, um, of course you can smell it here as well. So at the point where you can see it, you can already smell it. So if you get the smell from underneath. So yeah, therefore we don't have to slice the colony into pieces as well. And as you maybe noticed, it is completely a tree structure, so they can build quietly in here. Uh, this has a few very big benefits for the bees. This wild structure, they build the cells in different sizes. We have like cells that are smaller sizes and bigger sizes for honey. And the smaller cells for the brood is quite a benefit also against varroa. And coming to the varroa, I don't know if you should go from here to the varroa
Maybe
or
just
maybe
one
later.
more thing. As you saw, you can take it completely out, and then you can also just weigh it if you want to check for the food storage. If you don't have the fingertip feeling like Philip already has.
Or you want to make the management or uh, uh,
Yeah, if you want to, you can put it on a scale or like luggage scale or something. And then if you ever see the need that you need to feed, you basically have two possibilities. You can either use these buckets here, which are on the bottom here, but in the fill up here, and also normally you feed end of the summer or something, and you see in front of the like before the winter, it's a few food storage maybe. Then we would highly recommend from the top, so there's not so much risk of robbery. You can place some dough here or glass or fill up the kind of the liquid here, so it's possible to feed if there is a need to feed. And basically fill up the whole thing here with food. Yep, and then close it down again. And I would say also what we get asked often is how do I get actually bees into the hive? And now since we have it here, we can easily show it. There's basically two methods of putting bees in. One is the very quick method, and then there's also like the romantic one. And if you're at this point that you have it here, so how the quick method is, uh, dirty. Yeah, so that's a good point. Basically, it's not possible to replace beeswax in like in certain slides, like in magazine type, like this. So, yeah, if you have like black wax, normally in a natural hive, strong colony doesn't have problems with wax. If wax gets like in a stage where it's so black, so dirty, the bees will not use it. They like avoid certain areas in their beehive, and from there actually, that's the way how it is in nature. Bee wax moths would go into these areas and like eat away the wax there. And from the point on, on a strong colony, these wax moths never get in or like grow so much that they're like endangering the whole colony. They just eat away the wax, and from there on, the bees take over the space the wax moths actually made for them. So they coexisted together since million of years, and that's actually the way we also think to like do it. We just let the bees like do it as long as they like can build their wax structure themselves. And if you feel the need of like changing it for yourself, or you want to have cleaned it up completely, you can take off the whole colony, turn the whole thing around, and then you can put another one like upside down. Hold on.
you take it like this. It's also the traditional method they used on the yes, you know,
on the yeah, how was it called?
this,
The scap hives, the
scap
classic
hives, yeah.
scap hives. Yeah.
You put them just above each other, and then you like drum them up, and then they just move up to the new home, and then you can like have them build a whole completely new structure. But if you prefer the like step by step, or like keep them in there, and they then just go with the wax mods. You never will have the wax mods in the area where you have like your honey room, because you can like you extract the honey room every year new. So this is a new wax structure every year. So there's no like you don't have to be fearing wax moths in the honey room. That's never the point. They never will make it in the honey room. The bees will not let them go there.
Yeah, then the next question was, how do you prevent colony migration when the hive is insufficient to the colony? I mean, basically, I would recommend not to be afraid of the size. It's very good, the size, and it's also what you can find in nature all the time. So there will be swarms, basically. If the colony grows too big, there will be swarms, and you will have swarms and more colonies, basically, if it becomes too small. So that's something there's no need from our perspective and experience to be
Or maybe,
afraid of.
How do I understand like it in yeah. Yeah, we never had this before.
Okay, so
like this never happened before. The space, the 40 liters we have here, that's like it's you probably didn't get it on the like first minutes where the microphone was bad. We did not pick the volume by like feeling or something. We took it from experiment scientists did long time ago, where they had like many swarms, and then gave the swarms the opportunity to move in one in several volume sizes, and they could pick basically the volume sizes, and then picked almost all of them picked some. It used to be in the range of almost all the time at somewhere 40 liters. So that's the volume size the bees pick themselves. And that's the volume size that's also coming from this tree fungus I was talking about. I don't know if you people hear that with the bad microphone. It's not a tree hollow. It's made by a woodpecker or something. It's a tree fungus going into a tree and hollow out the tree. And bees, as they like recognize the volume with this certain kind of size, they move in, take out the fungi, and from there they make the colony into this tree hive. But it is like 40 liters is the like golden ratio nature actually picked, or bees picked themselves.
Okay, so let's go back to how to put in the bees, as said before. If you have it like this, I would show you the quick method right now. Basically, you just take the whole thing as it is, turn it. It's wide open here. Turn it upside down like this, and then you take your swarm box.
Oh, hold on. One detail that's pretty important is you should close this.
Close this one. It's true. otherwise it's open. Of course, you will close it. You will close it with this lid here.
Yes.
You will close it with this lid, and then basically you need a swarm, either like I don't know how to say in English, like artificial swarm or natural swarm. But of course, you cannot transfer brood. It's obviously not possible. So then, if you have it open, you just chuck them in here pretty quickly. Yeah. Can put water on them, spray them a bit with water so they don't fly. Chuck them in, done in a couple of seconds, and then because the base is screwed on there, I will not take this one. You take the base, put it on again.
You close it basically. You just close it basically, and then
put all the 3 clippers,
and then from there you just put it again, rotate it and put it back on. And that's
put the things on here, and then as Philip said, turn it around, put it on the pole again, and that's it. And then there's like the romantic method, let's call it, right? That's where the hive is already on the pole again. In this method, you can also put on the top if you want, and then you will put in 2 of these bottom buckets, screw them in here, and then
Nicht das von gib mir das andere.
that's the Schraube. You will put them in, and then you basically just need like a white blanket. You will leave out the flight hole here. You will leave this one open, and then just attach the white blanket here. Then maybe put like a kind of a board or something here, and then again take the swarm box. This would be attached here, of course, and just empty it on the blanket and wait for the bees to walk in. And that's very nice to see, nice to watch. It's like a real nature spectacle, let's say. Usually takes a bit of time. Sometimes, like some people told us, it took them 15 minutes. Sometimes it takes to be more than 1 day to finally walk in.
Okay, one thing about the why we use a white sheet here. You just put the white sheet down here. It's giving contrast. The bees are seeing like it's just pretty white down here, and then they see like a dark cave up here. Also against the sun, this gives a really good contrast. It's pretty black down here, and everything else is white. So as soon as they see like the black cavity, they swarm in there. Sometimes it takes 15 minutes. It goes really quick. They really like swarm in there, and it looks really funny. But sometimes it takes also 5 hours, and I was sitting in the sun for 5 hours because it took like really long. So this is the romantical the romantical method you can use for, I don't know, to show it to your kids, to show it to your friends. It's pretty nice to see. But just if you're in a hurry or you just want to get it done, the other method where you just turn it around and put the bees in there, it's going like bang bang, and then you have it in there, and you can put up the tree hive, the hive again, and it's basically done. So yeah.
So there's a question also from about varroa mites a lot and the colonies dying. I think that's a good point to talk about monitoring the varroa mite, basically.
Yeah, I'm pretty. Let's go to the topic of varroa mites. We didn't even mention you can put on here if you have like these acid vaporer. I don't know if it is that's the like standard one.
In Germany, at least, it's called Liebig dispenser for formic acid.
You just we have in our instruction there is the size. You have this paper board. You cut in a certain size. And we have it on our website in the menu or in the user manual. We have the exact size you have to cut this piece of paper, because this is like actually, giving the amount of acid is vapored. You just take it basically like in every other beehive. You just put it on top here. You just close the whole thing.
Before, of course, you take off the red lid here so it can vaporize down.
Again, the red lid is the important detail, and then you just close it and keep it there for like a week, and from there you're basically like just do it like in any other box. So
you can also use the stripes if you want, MAQS or whatever brand you have instead of this vaporizer. Yes. I will not open this one up here, but of course you can also place it on top there and use it as any other conventional formic acid treatment you would do.
But coming to the like, how do you see you have to treat? We have these buckets down here, and one of hold on. You can. That's also the same thing like with the extra piece of insulation. We couldn't like insert this year already, or like for this batch of hives this year. But there is a piece of yeah, I don't know how it is called in English, but it is like to have
It's a varroa board, basically.
it's called a varroa board. Okay, yeah, cool. Yeah, you basically just insert it. You can also cut it yourself. We will upload like a cutting scheme soon. And did I just lost the screw here? Oh yeah. And yes, basically you can just count them here. That makes it a little bit more easy or a little bit easier to count them. But other than that, you can also like just count them in like this whole in these wood chips. These wood chips are like giving living space for symbiont. Or not, it's not symbionts. It's like I don't know this word in English. It's for these all little animals that live from bees. Actually, they are not symbionts of bees, but they live together with bees, and they are like taking apart a biomaterial that's falling off from bees, and we did it the way that we all the time just counted, or we just took the whole thing and put it on some white sheet, and then we just looked through through everything that was in there or is in there, and but we also can put on this piece. It makes it much more easier. You can see it on a glance how much varroa is on there, and still have the living space for the mites and whatever is living down there. Yeah, that's the same way like it is in the magazine hives. It's not a big difference here. It's just another shape. And
Yeah.
but to say all in all, we witnessed quite a pretty low varroa pressure the last years in hive. That's the same. I mean, we didn't say about something about like the feed as well, the feeding of the bees as well. We just take it takes the bees a ridiculous amount of honey to get over the winter. We just have like
Ridiculous low amount.
a ridiculous low amount of honey to get over the winter. We just it's between 5 liters of honey to 5 kilo of honey to 10 kilos of honey to get over the winter. As you might know, it's like in box hives or in magazine hives, it's 20 kilos is the standard. And we have like 5 to 10 kilos, and most of the time there's still honey left, and a good amount of honey left. So that's there we can see it puts much less stress on the bees to get over the winter than being in a magazine hive, because honey means energy. And this whole like saving energy, because this is actually an energy saving house for bees, is the only way we can actually explain ourselves how it comes to such low varroa pressure. We definitely have, I don't want to say it's in all hives. I would say it's in 1/3 of our hives. We witnessed a really low to not even visible varroa pressure. But in the other ones, it's definitely the case where we see you have to treat. It's not like we have you don't have to treat bees anymore beehive. It's just on a few of our bees we just witnessed not even recognizable varroa pressure, and that's something we never saw anywhere else. And that's something we can proudly and surprised ourselves claim. And so if you see varroa and you have varroa here on the board, and even if it is just a few, it is a certain kind of pressure, and you should take medication, or should consider to take medicational steps further.
If you don't want to risk that you lose the colony, if you want to
go with, if you don't want to lose the colony, if you want to go with it, I mean, that's
up to you in the end. If you want to use the Darwinian approach completely or not, but yeah, so you can check there. Of course, also, which we also didn't mention is, of course, you can also in the winter vaporize oxalic acid through the entrance hole. Classic, let's say, this is also a typical winter treatment method. If you are in a region where you have a breed-free cycle, of course, if you're in a very hot region where there's breed the whole year, it would not make sense because oxalic acid is not going into the breed cells. The only thing which is going into the breeds, like the capped breed cells, is formic acid. So oxalic acid would not work in this case.
Yeah, if you're that's a technique that you can use in colder regions. Maybe don't use it in Florida or somewhere in Californian. But yeah, if you're in colder region, you have like this vaporizer, and you can just put it in here and then vaporize the treatment in there. It's pretty easy and also pretty common here. Other than that, I mean, we can wrap it up to. Yeah, as you see, we already took apart the whole hive, took it back together, and now the last thing is actually the flight hold. And coming to the flight hold, we have 3 stages. Let me grab a knife. Hold on. Oh, I got here. We have certain steps we can set down. Oh, it's I don't know. It's probably a little bit tricky to see on the camera now, but we inserted now some little steppers in here where we can like grab it with a knife and set down. Now I got a piece of wood in there. We can set up the different stages with a knife. That's a newer version. I don't know if you got it, but other than that, you can also like set the different stages of the flight deck here. If you just free this a little bit from the wood, there's this red piece where you can close the entrance. Basically, there's still some space for air to get through, and also for the queen. And there's actually three modes for it. There's one, it's for closing the whole thing down for like, let's say in fall time. I wouldn't recommend to keep it closed the whole winter. If you like now, if there's no wasp flying around anymore, open up the tree hole, because there need to be the air insulation. Otherwise, you just trap the moisture in there. The bees need the air to get through here. So in wintertime, that's maybe something we have to mention in the user manual as well. In winter, open the flight hole so the air can circulate. Close the entrance for yeah, like in fall time, where the wasp and how are the hornets? Hornets and wasp are pretty active. Other than that, I would just keep it open all the time. Yeah, that said, we can also put the flight deck on here back again.
Maybe last question we often hear is, yeah, it's you aim to have like the most natural, let's say, artificial beehive, and there's a lot of natural materials, right? But why I don't like plastic? That's like a question I get. It's it's natural, but why do you use plastic?
Yeah.
Maybe that's something we should address.
Yeah, I just turned off the mic, so this noise is not like so super loud. Yeah, plastic. That's a good one. Hold on. Okay, we use plastics. Everyone probably noticed so far, but we do it with a good thought about it. And we don't like plastics like these fast fashion plastics that you just use one time and then you put it in the trash. That's a pretty wasteful use of plastic, because plastic is actually an insane good material for cases like this. And it's not like, I mean, there is good plastic, there's bad plastics as well, but we have a really good one. and there is really good ones. This is a wood, it's a called VPC. It's a wood polymer wood compound.
Wood polymer compound.
Wood polymer compound, and we use it with wood and PP. It's polypropylene, and this material is food. What is it? Food certificated.
It's food, like the plastic is food safe, or the whole material is food safe.
Yeah, it's food safe. It is also UV resistant. It is yeah, resistant against all the like weather influences we have outside. The outside world is a pretty rough world, and therefore these materials are pretty good. VPC is basically a material that's also used for a lot of like outdoor like furnitures and also terrace
Decking.
and deckings and something like this. And we use it with a PP, polypropylene. It's a really good material. We're planning to make a recycling program in our house. We want to basically take all the hives that like maybe get broken, get like run over, whatever happens with outside. We would take them, and we can shred them down and take the materials, because they are color coded here, and we can shred them down, put them back into the cycle, and make them to long-term material, to long-term products. It's not like we have a product that we just use for half a year or something. It's planned to be like a long-time product that is holding like for hopefully decades.
Yeah.
That's why we give a guarantee of 5 years. We just designed it to be out there for a long time. And we hope you guys are like work with these materials like responsible, because as soon as it's like leaving our house, we can't like take care of it anymore. But we take responsibility for the future, for the materials. We will take them back, we will recycle them and put them back into new hives, or refurbish old hives and bring them back. So we are taking this. We don't like plastics and like short-term materials, but in long time products. It's a pretty well thought and also really was heißt nochmal nachhaltig? Sustainable material.
And in general, you can see that we use very few material in total. Like as you can see with this component here, it's just a few rings to give the structure, make it very stable, and then inside the bees are in contact with wood.
Yeah.
So that's also very important for us to understand. When you see it from the outside, it maybe looks different than from the inside. Also the honey room, you saw, it's basically wood inside, so the bees are in touch with the material they love, wood.
Yes.
So that's like the surface they touch, and we just use it for the structural materials. And as Philip said, it's a compound, meaning even the plastic consists of 50% wood already. So even everything you see which is plastic is only 50% plastic. So
Yes.
that's why we have like a very good conscience using the material, and we are 100%,
it's a good
with it.
It's a sustainable. It's the most sustainable material we could find, and we did a lot of research on material. Right. If we would like replicate a tree hollow with like this size, I just said we have 10 centimeters of hemp wool, but we're replicating basically a huge tree. And if we would like replicate it with wood, we have to cut a lot of trees. And we love trees, so we don't cut them, and therefore we use hemp wool instead. And that's definitely a more sustainable approach to replicate such huge tree hollows, as like taking I don't know what material, but if you have a good material for us, please let us know. We are pretty open for every idea, and we will take it into consideration.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a good,
that's it.
wrap up. Yeah. I mean, if you have any questions, feel free to put them in the chat right now. Otherwise, I think we are pretty much through everything. Very sorry again for the hiccup in the beginning.
Yeah,
couldn't do anything about it. Next time, hopefully. not again. But thanks that you all made it to the other
Yeah, it's our
other
first
stream.
workshop, and I hope you liked it. If you liked it, keep a like, and if you have maybe some final question, let us know. Other than that, we would say goodbye and thank you for tuning in.